Hey everybody, Jim from Jim's Coleus. Just checking in. How's everybody's germinations doing? How your trays doing? I was thinking back, and it was sort of troubling me a little bit. I didn't want to give the wrong message out there. When I posted that video, that short about getting germinations in 2 or 3 days, don't expect all of your germinations to come in 2 or 3 days. I had a handful of them that came in 2 or 3 days. Those are really nice, strong seeds, what have you, but not all of your germinations will come in 2 or 3 days. You may have a few, you may not have any germinations coming in for 7 to 10 days. If you look in the back of the seed pack, some of them will say 15 to 20 days. So it all depends on the seeds, the material you're using, your situation, your environment, whether or not you're using the heat mats, how warm it is, what type of grow light. There's so many variables. So I didn't want to get the wrong message out there. I don't want you to think, oh my God, he got germinations in 2 or 3 days. I don't know what I'm doing. Forget this and give up everything. Throw out your trays and so forth, or replant your Coleus seeds. If you did replant your Coleus seeds, no worries. Just give it time. I didn't want to get the wrong message out. So, all right, so let's go take a look at my trays and we'll go over some more in detail. Okay, so we got the greenhouse cover on here. Okay, so I mentioned that last short, and I was all proud, and I am, that I got germinations in 2 or 3 days, which is really good. It means that the seeds are real healthy and so forth, and you got good, strong, hopefully all strong Coleus. But I wanted to also be a little more responsible. I didn't want to create, and I was thinking of this the other night, and I was saying to myself, you know what, and looking at my own trays, not all seeds will germinate in 2 to 3 days. So that's really the basis of this video, is if you did plant Coleus seeds and you have your Coleus germinations coming in, or maybe they're not coming in yet after 2 or 3 days or 4 days or 5 days, don't throw them away. Don't plant more seeds. If you have already, don't worry about it. But Coleus seeds, if you haven't buy them from me, if you have seed packages, you look in the back, a lot of them say germinations within 10 to 12 days, 10 to 14 days, or 20 days. So give them time, and every situation is a little different. So I just wanted to make sure that you realize that the 2 to 3 days that I got on this tray and a few others, they were not 100%, not every single pod germinated. Okay, a couple other points. As you can see here, I still have, 3 of the 12 pods did not germinate. So I'm gonna wait and give them more time. So also, especially if you're using the heat mats, see how some of those, that one right there is just a little lighter in color. Feel your tray, feel the pods. Make sure they stay moist, because we did pop we didn't take the domes off. We just kept them to the side. But with heat mats or wherever you're storing, especially where I have mine next to 2 heat registers, they could dry out really fast. So keep a watering can nearby. Keep it, and give them just a touch of water. Feel them. Some of them will dry out more than others. You don't want them to get them too dry, but make sure you drop water on them. Here's a really cool product if you're interested in getting. It's not fertilizer. They're Super Thrive vitamin, and it's very strong. You just put like a drop or two in this water. And actually, if you bought the Jiffy trays, they actually came with this solution that you mix in the water that you fill your trays up with. If you didn't use it, that's fine. But this is really like a super vitamin. And I did use them. I did mix that in with the water when I did make these trays up. But you can see this tray here, again, I got germinations and many I didn't. You can see they're coming in at different rates. So Coleus seeds will come in at a different rate. So again, if you didn't get germinations in 2 or 3 days, like my video had showed, if you didn't get germinations after 2 or 3 days, Don't get upset. Don't think you're doing something wrong. Don't get frustrated and throw the trays out or give up or anything. Give it time. Again, some of the seeds, if you read the pouch, if you bought like burpee seeds or whatever from Home Depot or in the back, a lot of them will say 10 to 15 days for germination. It all depends on the conditions. So these seeds reacted like super quick between the Super Thrive, the heat mat, and the seed pods. It was just ideal for these seeds, and they're strong, good, strong Coleus seeds. All right, so give them time. You can still see some coming. There's some coming in here, little dots of green. I'll give them more time. You can see some more coming in here. Just keep what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Any questions, just leave me leave me a message. Just leave me a comment or a message. All right, another thing. Here's another tray up top here. And again, once your germinations appear, I disconnect the heat mat. Honestly, I don't really need a heat mat in this particular area, because I have the 2 heat registers next to it, and it keeps it at 70 degrees, pretty warm. I did use the heat mat for a couple of days, but I disconnected it, because you got to be careful with your heat mat, and check, if you are using a heat mat, check your trays, make sure they don't dry out too quick. Here with the heat mat and the sun, even though it's indirect, and the heat mats, my trays they dried out. They'll dry out really quick, so I wait. Once I start seeing germinations coming in, I disconnect the heat mat. Again, if your germinations all come in and you leave the heat mats going, it's going to stunt the growth of the germinations. Ideal place if you're keeping your seeds maybe in a basement that's a little chilly and you're using grow lights and so forth, then heat mats will be very useful. If it's and again, this is all depending on your situation. I don't really need heat mats here, but it's a good product, and I want to show that the different options for you if you have a situation where you don't have a bright window or a warm place to keep your germinations. The heat mats are really, really good. Oh, and I just wanted to touch on this before. If you saw my last video, you noticed that I have a Saturn plant that's growing a seed stalk, and I don't have a lot of seeds at all of Saturns, so I'm letting this develop. And you can see, actually, I'm getting a lot of good seeds here. You can actually self-pollinate a seed stalk. You get a very fine paintbrush or a clean brush and just gently work the petals. And that's really the same action as if an insect is visiting. They're transferring the pollen and genetics from each to the... Now, if you notice how many more petals are on from the last time when I first showed you this, so it does work. And I can see we got lots of just good seeds under there. So we're going to continue letting this grow and develop, and every few days or so, every day, I just gently work it, not really heavy, just gently work it and let the action pollinate the seed stalk. Okay, so stay tuned, more to come. I'm going to let these go, just keep them. At this point, maintenance, I'm keeping the tray covers on, but just slightly off to the side. We want to get oxygen in there. Keep track of your water. Always, drop water on them check them every day. Drop water on them and so forth. Later on, we'll touch on whether or not you have some seeds that don't germinate. So like after 2 or 3 weeks, if you don't see any seeds germinating, then you can drop some more seeds and replant and so forth and go from there. It happens to me. It's not unlikely that there's a pot or 2 or more in here that didn't germinate. It's the nature of them. So just make sure you maintain your water. Disconnect your heat mat if your germinations are showing. Maintain the water. continue what you're doing. Let them grow. And then we'll get into separating them and so forth later on. We've got plenty of time to do that. So if you have any questions, comments, feel free to contact me. I don't want to try to make this, I don't want to make this into rocket science. It's not that difficult to do. It's just, but there are some things you need to do to get them started. And maintain them. And I've made my share of mistakes in the past, so I'm just passing that on to you. So, all right, so good luck, everybody. Hope everybody's Coleus is doing well, and we'll keep in touch soon. Take care, everyone. Have a great week.